Good afternoon. Hey, this is afternoon coffee time, and I'm gonna be telling y'all. I'm gonna show y'all a painting. Yeah. But first, what is in your cup? What are you drinking? What's in your cup? For me, I'm drinking coffee. I love coffee, and so I'm drinking me some coffee. Plus, I gotta show y'all something. Y'all see this picture? All right, this mug was made for me. But you see this picture right here? That's me on a Ferris wheel. That's me. I'm on a Ferris wheel and have my thumb up like that. But this is gonna be a new video, and I'm gonna be starting this probably every day called afternoon coffee time. And sometimes I might share a story and I'm gonna show a painting here in a minute. I might have a story too to tell you. So I'm gonna go ahead and show y'all this beautiful painting because some of y'all probably new to my channel and probably have never seen this painting before. Look at this painting. Wow, isn't that pretty? Now this right in here is known as the background. So you do everything further away in the background, then you work towards the front and the middle. And then you have both of these are the trees. And I took a class many years ago. I took a class, and the class was first day, second day. I don't know. I think the third day we did this one, but it's a real pretty one. And if you can use your imagination just for a few minutes, you can imagine that you're sitting on the banks or on the side, listening to birds up in the sky. Of course, you don't see no birds there, okay? But you can visualize this in your mind and listen to sounds of the waterfall, going down in the water, and sit up there with nature and sit up there, listen to birds, listen to butterflies. You know, it's nothing better than sitting around listening to nature, like like birds and seeing birds up in the sky and all that. It's very fascinating to watch. It really is. I really enjoy doing that. But anyway, I just want to let y'all know that I'm showing y'all this painting. This took me probably about a hour to do this one in class, maybe two. Isn't that beautiful? Look how beautiful that is. And if you notice that the black stuff that you see down there, that's known as black gesso. And then we cover that up with some titanium white and use it as waves and water. And then we use a fan brush to do the waves with it. But it's a beautiful painting. Very pretty. But I did take a class. So the class that I took for that painting lasted about all week. Now, we did not spend all week on just that one painting, okay? We had, we did other paintings, other ones. Beautiful paintings, too. I mean, beautiful. Okay, let me share a story with y'all. Now, if you like coffee time and afternoon coffee time, and I'll add some stories to it. So if you want to hear a story, let me know in the comments, okay? And so anyway, I'm going to tell you this story. And this is a pretty good story to tell. You know, I could tell you the story when the first time I flew a plane. Let me tell you about that one. This is a real good one. So the first time I ever flew a real airplane, okay. Now, I worked at one time, I worked for an airport small airport, and I used to wash the airplanes and that kind of stuff, sweep out the hangars, and so one day my mom took me to the airport, and so I went around and asked someone to take me up flying because back then in the days I used to love to go flying, and so soon enough there was a pilot, and I had to go down another part of the airport so this I could talk to the pilots and stuff. And I used to look. You know what? I even rode my bicycle up to this airport one time, and the airport when I worked at, I used to ride my bicycle all the way up to the airport. It was good exercise too, real good exercise. But anyway, let me tell you this story. So I yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, so anyway, I had to stop thinking what I was saying. So anyway, um, when my mom took me to this airport, I had got in contact with a pilot out there, and the pilot was down at the other end of the airport. So I walked through the gate, and I saw this pilot, and I said, "Hey," I said, "can you take me up flying?" He said, "Sure." He said, "I'd be glad to, son." And so my mom dropped me off, and so anyway, he says, "Come on around here with me." Now this is a pilot, an instructor. So I walked around. He said, "Before we can even go up flying," he said, "first of all," he says, "I'm gonna walk you around the plane. Okay, then we'll walk me around the airplane." And that's before they can even take you up. They make sure that they check the plane out to make sure everything's working in order like it should. So he showed me things that they have to go through, be able to take that person up. So we had to check. He was mostly checking like the engine, the oil. Uh, he's checking some other stuff too. And then he said, "Let's get into the plane." Now, all right. So use your mind, okay? Now the plane I was sitting in was a two-seater. It only seats two people. And so it's just like you're driving a car, okay? So you have a steering wheel. Of course, you don't have a steering wheel on this side. So you picturize what the plane looked like, okay? So there was a steering wheel on this side, all right? Now, in the airplane, you have what you call yokes, which is like the steering wheel. And so you have one on one side, one on the other side. And so I was sitting on the right-hand side, and the pilot sitting on the left-hand side. And so I think he opened up a window too, a very small window on my side. And so we started taxiing to the runway. Now, back in the days like that, I let him taxi the plane to the runway because, I didn't know how to do that. So he taxied the plane to the runway, and we took off flying. And so he gets the plane up in the air, and guess what? I didn't expect to be doing all this. I just expect somebody to take me up flying. And so he gets the plane way up in the air, and we're, high altitude, very high up. And so he said, "Hey," he said, "would you like to take over the controls?" Oh, I said, "Yeah, I can take over the controls." Dude, let me tell you about something. When I took over them controls, oh my goodness, I never flown an airplane before in my life, and that was a lot of fun to do. Matter of fact, I'll tell you how fun that was. My hands started getting real sweaty, and I had never had, my hands were never sweaty before. My hands started getting so sweaty. We were really high up there too, high altitude, and the nose of the plane started to go up even higher. And so the instructor asked me, he says, well, he said, whoa, he says, we can't go any higher than this. So he had to help me, and soon if he, leveled back out, he said, what did you do that? I said, well, my hands are sweaty. He said, well, that's what they all say. And then, oh my goodness, and then he said, would you like to help me land this airplane? Help him land it. I thought, oh no. So he said it's very easy to do. Now, with him being the instructor, and I'm sitting there, and I didn't, talk on the radio or anything like that. And then, so anyway, he said, just put your hands back on the yoke, and he said there are pedals down where your feet are at. He said, put your feet on those pedals. And then I did exactly what he told me to do. And I put my feet on the pedals. And then, after I did that, then we touched on the runway, and then he took all the controls out of that, so we taxiing to we go to park the plane, because he had to park the plane. I couldn't do it. So we get out of the plane. He said, now, how did you feel after you did all this? I said, I feel like I've been to flight school. He says, good. He said, that's what we want you to feel like. You've been to flight school. More in the story, did I get my pilot license? No. No. I just wanted to go up because I like to fly, I love being in a small plane, but anyway, yeah, that was a funny story. But if you like coffee, afternoon coffee time and stories, funny story, let me know in the comments, and I'll start doing some of this. I would love to do this. This is so much fun. Oh, also be sure to subscribe and like. Okay, I think that's about it. Oh, I think I'm going to show y'all one more painting. Would you like to see another painting? Okay, let me show y'all another painting. Alright, I'm going to show y'all another painting. Okay. There it is, right there. See? There's another painting right there. I did that one in class too. Is that beautiful? Pretty, isn't it? Okay, bye.